Hey vinyl community, this is my thread response to Rockin' LUPA's Sound Differently thread. My artist, if you haven't figured it out yet, is what's playing in the background on the TV, Stevie Ray Vaughan. To me, Stevie changed a lot in music back in the early 80s, and I wasn't really aware of it really till the 90s. But back in the 80s and mid-80s, everybody was trying to be like Eddie Van Halen. Everybody's trying to play faster. I used to play in bands. I was the same way. That's all I thought about was how can I play like Eddie Van Halen, or how can I learn that George Lynch solo. And to me, faster was better, and the faster you played, the better you were, and that's all I cared about. Well, Stevie Ray at the time, back in 1983, and a lot of people know this story, had a chance to become very probably famous playing on David Bowie's album, Let's Dance, that album. And Stevie Ray played on the album. It was a big seller for David Bowie. David Bowie offered him a full-time position in his band, his touring band, and that was probably hard for Stevie to turn down because he really wasn't making any money, and he didn't have a record deal with his own band yet, but he said no to David Bowie anyway, went back to Texas, and thankfully stuck it out with Double Trouble and put out his debut album, Texas Flood. This album came out and just shook everybody up because they never heard playing like this. Everybody was listening to something different, something, you know, hard rock or heavy metal, which, don't get me wrong, I love. That's my favorite kind of music. But basically, to make a long story kind of short, I played in all these rock bands, tried to play, you know, fast as I could. That's all I cared about. That's all I listened to. Heard Stevie Ray, had a couple of his CDs, liked them a lot. And then in the early 90s, you know, I got married and I had kids and I was working a lot, and I got out of playing in bands. And one night I was sitting around watching some TV, and on Austin City Limits came on Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I can honestly say I never saw him play that much. And here he was on TV playing, and I was like mesmerized. And I was running around, and I got a VHS tape and threw it in a VCR and started recording, you know, the last half of the show. And I just watched it over and over and over again until I could pick up a full copy of it. And that night, I just became a full-fledged Stevie Ray Vaughan fan. I mean, other than metal, Stevie Ray's it in his style of music. And Stevie Ray brought so much to the blues in 1983 when he exploded into that mainstream scene. It breathed life back into blues and blues rock again that it was kind of dying out. And he just took it from there, and you got players that have come along after him that certainly are influenced by him, but can nowhere touch him because he was the man. So I suggest anybody, if you can get this live at Austin DVD, pick it up and watch it. I always challenge people, it's such a good DVD, turn the sound off, just watch him play. You know, I don't know if you can see the TV back there. There's just some stuff coming up on here. To me, it's mind-blowing. It taught me how to slow down and get more out of one note playing guitar. You know, when I was playing, it taught me how to really feel guitar solos and really get into the music. And so I'm just going to go over a couple of quick things I have with Stevie Ray's. Of course, his debut album. This is a great part here. Always loved this part. You know, turns the guitar on, plays behind his back. I mean, you probably can't hear it, but the crowd's just exploding right now because he's so awesome. You know, I have Soul to Soul, Live Alive, In Step, the Vaughan Brothers he did with Jimmy Vaughan. I have a bunch of his DVDs. I have a couple bootlegs that people have made for me. These are fantastic to watch. I would suggest Live at the El Macombo. It's just, it never ends with this guy. I've read so many books about him. I even called down to some of the bars he used to play at down in Dallas and Austin and talked to people, and they were really kind and would answer questions about him. Read, you know, lots of books. I've actually been to his crash site where he died in Alpine Valley, Wisconsin. That was an eerie feeling being there. And I've been to his grave site in Dallas. And I still haven't made it to the statue yet in Austin, but I will. But anyway, Stevie Ray changed it all, not just for me personally, as a guitar player and a music listener, because it opened me up to really, you know, a lot of mainstream blues and old blues. You know, I can go back to Robert Johnson. You know, I can come up to Muddy Waters, Buddy Guy. You know, even the newer stuff, Derek Trucks. I mean, Stevie Ray breathed so much life into that. So to me, he was an innovator. He changed music as a whole, worldwide, and he changed the way I listen to music and the way I play. So my guy for sounding differently and making a difference in the music world is definitely, hands down, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Thanks, and have a good night.